Hey guys!
Hey.
So today we're going to be doing something a little different. For most families, it's about the back to school season. So we're going to give you guys some movies that we think you guys should watch during this back to school season.
And with that being said, the first movie we're going to suggest is Grease. This is an older movie, but it's an oldie but goodie. It's a musical, so if you don't like musicals, you might steer clear. It is kind of a coming of age movie, uh, based in the 1950s. And if you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been, but it's like I said, it's an older movie. It was done in the 1970s, so that older, and it has funny bits, but it also has some cheeky bits in there too. So just be mindful. I will let my daughter tell you what she thought of the movie.
I thought it was a pretty good movie. Like my mom said, there's some parts in it that might be a little, but I think they're so hard to catch and they're so fast and like the way that those things pop up, you'll notice that the song, the actual main person singing, who might be saying that, is kind of muddled by the background singers. So if you have a kid watching, I highly doubt they're actually going to notice it. So it's not really something you need to worry about. But then again, if your kid is really attentive, you might want to check it out first.
The next movie we're going to suggest is Napoleon Dynamite. Now, I hadn't seen this movie until recently, and I have to say, I wish I would have seen it when it first came out. I had seen, like, bits of it, but not in the entirety of the whole movie. It is very funny. It's very cute. Napoleon is this nerdy guy who's just, kind of in a class all of his own. And he has a friend, Pedro, who's running for class president, and he's trying to support him and all that. And it's really cute the way it's done, and there's lots of funny bits. And if you were a nerd, then you can relate. And if you're not a nerd and you have a child that maybe is a nerd, maybe you can relate. Maybe you can relate to the movie anyway. It's just a really cute movie, and I like the way it was done. It's not your stereotypical nerd versus conquers the popular kids kind of movie. So it's done differently, and it's really cute. And with that, we come to our next movie. Our next movie is School of Rock, and I'm going to let my daughter start off this time.
Okay, so School of Rock, one of the main characters is Jack Black. So, if you like him and you like the kind of movies he does, pretty sure you'll like this movie. It's a really cute movie. He teaches a band class, but he doesn't technically have the qualifications to do so. But the staff and the kids don't know that. The music in it is absolutely great, and it's really funny. You're laughing every time you turn around, and if you guys haven't seen it, you should. I'll let my mom tell you what she thought.
School of Rock is a funny movie. It is, Jack Black kind of plays this guy who's kind of a screw up. He kind of, does can't get nothing right in life. He keeps making stupid mistakes and whatever. And so his roommate gets a call to be a substitute. And instead of giving the message to his roommate, he ends up taking the job opportunity himself and gets the job. And it ends up being a life-changing opportunity for him. And it's really cute the way it's done. And funny, and I mean, I like Jack Black anyways because he's just absolutely silly. He kind of reminds me of one of my uncles, so that that makes it even better. um, and with that, we come to our next movie, and I'm gonna let my daughter start off with that one.
Okay, so the next movie is Bring It On. It's one of those cheerleader movies. There's some things that are implied, but it doesn't really go much further than that, at least in the first movie.
Right.
The other ones, well, I believe we reviewed them on our channel, so you can go check those out if we have. I believe so.
I think we did, yeah.
Yeah. But, nevertheless, the first Bring It On is a really cute movie that's like it's a cheerleading movie, and there's like a cheerleading competition thing, rivalry going on, and so I don't want to give too much away. So if you guys haven't seen it, you should. There's lots of funny bits, action bits, a little bit. So I'll let my mom tell you what she thought about it.
Bring It On is got some funny bits. It's got some good music, good beat to it, and the first time I watched it, I thought, oh no, not a cheerleading movie. But it's not like, I don't know, I guess your stereotypical cheerleading movie, but it's not. It is really funny. It has Kirsten Dunst that plays the head cheerleader of one cheerleading squad, and then Gabrielle Union plays the head cheerleader of another cheerleading squad. So those two are competing or in a competition with one another, and then they end up becoming friends. And it's really interesting how they did the movie, and the the competition kind of goes awry there for a little bit, but it is a really good movie. Now, I would not recommend going and watching the other two movies. Just leave it at the first one and you're good. That brings us to our next movie. The next movie is Footloose. Now, there is two adaptations of this movie, and I am personally talking about the original with Kevin Bacon. That is one of my all-time favorite movies. I can remember as a girl, after seeing this movie, having this dream that the next school year, I was going to come to school, and the music was going to play in the background, and I was going to open the doors and dance down the hall, and everybody was going to join me. Sadly, that did not happen. Dang it. Nobody wanted to dance with me, although I guess I danced to the beat of my own drum, but anybody out there wants to dance down the streets with me, that would be cool, but until that happens.
Careful what you ask for.
Well, hey, I don't know. People are so worried about COVID. But anyway, to be a little bit more back to normal, sort of. Footloose is a fun movie. It does have a little bit of language, I believe. It does have some cheeky bits, but nothing too bad. Basically, this kid, Kevin Bacon, he moves to this small town. And this small town, they have said that dancing and music are against the law. And that's kind of like, what? So he kind of rebels, and then he ends up falling for the preacher's daughter, who happens to be the mayor of the town. And it's kind of a mess, but yet at the same time, it's a really good movie and one of my favorites. And I'll let my daughter tell you what she thought.
So Footloose is one of those funny movies that's kind of become a classic that either everyone's seen it or those who haven't seen it should. And so it's just one of those really good movies that kind of always is able to be watched by everyone. It doesn't really have to be like, okay, one generation enjoyed it, kind of a movie. It's like, no, generations down the line can still enjoy it. And I have a feeling it's going to be one of those movies that's like, every kid is going to be watching for years and years and years once they get to like a certain age or something.
Yeah. Yeah. True. The next movie we have for you is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I will let my daughter start off.
Okay, so Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Give me a minute, I kind of gotta remember.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay, this guy, Ferris is like he works harder at getting out of things than he does at working at doing things. and he has a sister who is like, a stickler. She does all the, does everything she's supposed to do, when she's supposed to do it and everything. But she's the one that always gets in trouble. He doesn't. And he decides this one last hurrah, he just needs a day off from school. So he decides he's going to kidnap his girlfriend and convince his best friend, that he needs to come along as well. And so they all have a day on the town, and it's not all happy and everything. There's some shenanigans that happen in the meantime, and it's a lot of fun. I think one of my favorite parts is when Ferris convinces his best friend to let him use his dad's car, his best friend's dad's car. Now his friend's dad has like a litany of cars, and it just so happens that Ferris picks one of the most expensive cars, and his friend's like, "But if you damage the car, I'm dead. My dad will kill me." And he's like, "Oh, no, the car will be fine." And then they end up running like a gazillion miles on this car. And so when they get back to his friend's house, Ferris decides he has this wonderful idea of putting the car on the jack, hiking it up, putting the car in reverse, and of course the engine's running, so you got the engine running, the car's in reverse, it's on the jack, and the vibration of the car ends up knocking the jack off, and the car rolls back, and it goes out the glass window down to the ravine. And now the kid that was worried about the mileage on the car is now freaking out because the car is like damaged. And I'm like, I felt so bad for him. But I mean, it is really it's funny. And if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Now, I will let my daughter tell you what she thought.
I thought it was a really funny movie. It's another one of those movies that I think will be like a classic that every kid will watch as like, not necessarily a coming of age movie, but at the same time kind of. Like once you hit a certain age you can watch it, but it doesn't mean that it's like about coming of age or anything.
Mm-mm.
But it's definitely a movie that I know people will watch for years to come. And I know I really enjoyed it, and a lot of others have really enjoyed it. So if you guys haven't seen it, you have to see it. You have to give it a shot. I think it'll really surprise you.
Next movie we have for you is The Breakfast Club. Now, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. I have seen it a few million times. Now, The Breakfast Club has a great cast of people, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you everybody who's in the movie because that would take too much time. But I will tell you that the premise of the movie is all these kids get detention. But it's detention on a Saturday, and it's not like your normal, if anybody had detention, I never did, but Anyways, if you ever had detention, normally it would be during lunch or something like that. This one is on a Saturday, and it's all day long. And then to add to it, they have to do a report. They have to do this other stuff. And they decide, no, they're not going to do that. They're going to try to break out. And then they end up, it's just like, it's funny because they end up all connecting and becoming friends and stuff. You kind of have like the preppy girl, and then you have kind of the nerdy girl, and you kind of have the jock, and then you have the gothic, grungy guy over here, and then you have, the nerd or whatever. It's kind of nice that everybody kind of together, and they decided to work together to get to the principal, who was who was hosting, I guess, the suspension or the detention thing, and they decided to combine forces and beat this guy. And it was kind of like, not beat him physically, but beat him with wit, and it's really, it is funny. It does have language in it, so I will tell you that. And I think the last time I watched it, it's been probably 5, 6, maybe years ago, and that was with my other child. Anyway, she can't give you a review because she's not seen it. Another movie I'm going to suggest, that she hasn't seen yet, and that's 16 Candles. 16 Candles is, this girl, she's getting ready to turn 16, hence the name, and she has an uber crush on this really cute guy at school. Haven't we all? Hello. And, this one nerdy guy, he's just, he's been her friend, he's kind of been like there all along, and, kind of, and he feels kind of bad for her, and, and everything, and he ends up telling the guy, this really cute guy that she likes him, and at the end, she gets her wish. It's really sweet. It's, not anything like, I mean, I don't know too many, like, movies nowadays that actually are that sweet. I mean, it is really, it is a good movie. It's a coming of age movie because everybody turns 16. It is kind of a schoolish movie, and a lot of kids may have their birthdays in the school year, or during the school year, and yeah, I think that pretty much says it. The next movie is Harry Potter, and this is like all of them, and I'm going to let my daughter start off because this is a long list.
Yeah. So basically, I'll just condense it to all 8. If you haven't seen the Harry Potter series, it's basically like following Harry Potter. Gee, big surprise.
I thought it was George. No.
Anyways, he's a wizard, and it follows all different witches and wizards, and they go to this school for witches and wizards, and they get into all sorts of mischief in all these 8 movies, and they beat bad guy, he who must not be named, and yeah.
I've known a few people like that.
Anyways, they're of course out of school, so it could be considered a back to school kind of movie or a school movie. So if you guys haven't seen them, you've got to at least give the first one a shot, which is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or Philosopher's Stone. Philosopher's Stone, the book, and the version from England, but depending on how you want to say it, I'll just say both ways.
Okay.
But if you guys haven't seen the Harry Potter movies, you have to. They're really good. They're action-packed. They're magical. They're fun. And I'll let my mom tell you what she thought.
Well, I'm just going to kind of clump together all the movies together in that smooshy, compact little review. Harry Potter is a really good set of movies. The first couple of them are like more geared for, I think, younger audience a little bit. I mean, not younger, but I mean not like little kids, but like 10, 12-year-olds. And then as you get a little bit further on in the movies, then they get a little darn scary. I got a little scary because I don't get scary, but I mean I got scared. She's trying to make fun of me. Anyway, I got scared because the he who should not be named is he No-Nose, as we call him, in Mr. No-Nose, shows up, and he's not very nice. I mean, no, but I mean some of the it's kind of dark. The older the later on movies, but they're all really good. The CGI is phenomenal. The storyline, the idea is great. You know, I always felt bad for Harry, being that he had to go back to his Muggle family of his aunt and uncle and his stupid cousin. And, you know, and it's, if you haven't seen the movies, you need to. I mean, because you don't understand what we're talking about otherwise. What else can I say? It is very good. It has some funny bits. It has some serious bits. It has action. It has drama. It has just a little bit of everything in there, mixed in there. And I think, you know, if you haven't seen it, it should be one that you see. Yeah, anyway, that is kind of our little overview of back to school movies that we are suggesting for you guys to watch as we head to back to school for a lot of families, including this family here. Yeah, this one's going to go into her senior year of high school. I'm not looking forward to that, but anyway.
Neither am I.
Yeah. So, if you have seen any of these movies that we've listed, let us know. And if you haven't, and you want to watch them, then you can leave us a comment.
Yeah.
And
huge shout out to Marion. Thank you for joining our Patreon.
And with that, we'll say we'll see you
Next
later.
time.